City Council meeting of September 3rd has come to order. Angela, you have two choices, to either sing happy birthday or lead us in Pledge of Allegiance. So what is your decision? So your decision, do you wish to lead us in Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, please. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. Can we please stand up again? Our Mayor Pro Tem always likes to call up for a moment of silence for our first responders. So let's have a moment of silence for them, please. Thank you. Please be seated. We know who's bringing snacks next time. While Mr. Aguilar is sitting down, Angela has brought John to our council meeting for his birthday. So I guess we're better entertainment than anything they have to offer in Merced. So thank you. May I have, now that Mr. Aguilar is seated, may I have roll call, please?
Roll call. Councilmember Baptista.
Present.
Councilmember Aguilar.
Present.
Councilmember King.
Present.
Mayor Samra.
Present.
For the record, Mayor Pro Tem Garcia is non-attendance, but his absence is excused.
Closed session announcements. There are no announcements. Direction was given to staff. Change to the agenda, council. I have one request. I'd like to move the item number, table the item number 4 to the next meeting. Any other changes to the agenda, council? If not, then we'll go to announcements and reports. I'm going to do things just a little different. We have John from Merced County. He wanted to follow up with his last meeting or his presentation. So go ahead, John, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is John Checkley. I'm a management analyst with Merced County CEO's office, and we did a presentation last month on the homeless regional plan. And at the end of that presentation, there was public comment, and there was a question raised about motel vouchers being utilized in Livingston. So I promised to come back and provide that information to the council as well as to the public in relation to voucher usage in the city of Livingston. So there is limited information I can share just due to client confidentiality. We obviously don't share any personal information on client confidentiality, and we do operate these programs cognizant of how important choice is for our clients. So clients really get to determine where they want to go, and generally those choices are made based on their support network. So there were 4 vouchers utilized over a 45-day period in the city of Livingston out of 19 that were issued. So vouchers are generally not given. Generally, the funding would be put onto the client's EBT card, and then the client would have a choice of where they wanted to spend that hotel stay or motel stay. Of the 4 that stayed in Livingston, 1 was a Livingston resident or former resident. 1 was from Delhi. 1 family was from Winton. Both of those families had children that were in school in those districts and wanted to obviously stay close to those support networks. So they chose to reside in Livingston for what's a short duration, initially a 7-day with an extension up to 16 days while more permanent housing is found. And then 1 family was actually an inter-county transfer. That family now resides in Snelling. The reason behind choosing Livingston, they didn't really articulate that, but likely just happenstance, to be quite honest, that they chose Livingston maybe for the fine restaurants that I'm about to go and enjoy myself. But I did want to just bring that back and just kind of illuminate that. It was a very valid question. During conversations, it did come up on just some more long-term solutions. In the interim, obviously keeping families housed, whether it's in a motel, anything that's better that can help them stabilize and find permanent housing. But I just wanted to bring that back to the council, and I'm available at any city council meeting during my birthday or not on my birthday. I'll make myself available to this community, to all communities.
Thank you. Any questions for John? If not, happy birthday. And they're also gonna spend dinner here in Livingston, so we even a double thank you for that.
Yes,
Thank you very
sir.
much.
Yes.
Okay, Supervisor Espinoza?
Thank you very much. Well, great education by the county employees, right? Even on their birthday, they come in.
Yeah, I guess a supervisor can take lessons, huh?
Yeah. Well, good evening, council, and to the public. I just have a couple comments. I don't know that much. We'll be having a next board meeting next Tuesday at 10 a.m. in the morning, and I'm still pushing to put that on the agenda to change the board meeting times from 10 a.m. to at least 4 or 5 or later in the afternoon, because obviously not a lot of the public are able to come to the meetings at 10 a.m. So there's always push from around the public to be transparent and to be open for public meetings. And I know with Council Member Juan Aguilar, I'm sorry, I was trying to. We're always pushing at the Merced County Association governments meetings, and as well as at the Merced County Associations and governments meetings. I'm also pushing that to push those meetings from 3 o'clock to at least 5 o'clock or later. So for the same reason, 10 a.m. or 3 p.m. is too soon, and not enough of the public are able to go in and watch the meetings. And also, I'm trying to push live telecast like we're doing right now. On the council, we took a lot of years to be able to have live stream telecast, and I know that they offer, you guys offer them on YouTube later on, or Facebook. I know that the county, we offer live, and also through Facebook, the meetings are live. So I know that, that way people are accessed, but the people are still at work at 10 a.m. So I just want to make sure. Last week I made a video to show my little displeasure of why I haven't been able to get some projects done in my district. I've been pushing for more sidewalks in Planada and roads to be fixed in McNamara Road, in South Planada, and Buchanan Hollow Road, Oneida Road, and it's just roads are all over bad. As well, I also mentioned Olive Avenue north of town, and I told the CEO and our public works director that we have in the city of Livingston an ordinance that says that when a new development comes in, the city makes the developer repave both sides of the road, even if it's county or city. So to make sure that the whole roads are taken care of, not just the city parks. I know that as people can see on the north part of town, close to town, the roads are a little bit better, but once you get into the county side, they're very bad. And as well as on Sundays when people go to church, to just outside of Livingston on Olive, they're just breaking up, and just people are complaining and calling me. I'm also addressing the veterans buildings. Last year I had some concerned citizens from the city of Merced regarding the Merced Veterans Hall, that they needed a new refrigeration system and a lot of different upgrades. So the county came back later on because we had more people that came to the public meetings, and regarding all the veterans halls around the county, they're in bad shape. And so they came up with $15 million to refurbish a little bit of all the veterans halls, including Merced, Winton, Atwater, Los Banos, but they left Livingston out. So I sat down with them, and today I said, you know what, we need to find some money for Livingston, because that's not right. The other day I was talking to a gentleman, I don't want to mention names, but we were just talking, hey, how's it going, and he's a veteran, and he says, hey, when are you going to fix Livingston? It's like, well, I've been pushing, and because we don't see you supporting the veterans, so I go, I'm sorry, but I've been pushing for this veterans building here in Livingston as well, but obviously we were left out. So that's not right. I know that other small communities have veterans hall as well, and I want to make sure that that Livingston gets taken care of too. I know I was told maybe next year, but I'm just addressing that I'm still pushing as well. The last one is, when I was a council member, mayor, we had some outside residents of Livingston complaining about the general plan getting expanded, and right now we're at a maxed out in regards to development, and we don't want the city to grow a lot, just enough to get enough commercial and a little bit more development of homes, because obviously Californians need a lot of homes, and I saw that our community plan update for Lee Grand, which is in my district in the south part of the county, has rezoned very low density residential. That means it's very, at least half an acre or 1 acre lots. And we were hammered, if the mayor remembers, hammered by the Livingston residents outside the city. You cannot take one more grain of sand outside the city limits. But yet, Merced, every other city in Merced County has unlimited growth except Livingston. Here we're fighting for a tax revenue sharing agreement, a general plan that was canceled back in 2008 and sued by the Farm Bureau. So I am going to be very vocal in regards with the Farm Bureau, because the Farm Bureau had no comments on the very low residential, zoning in that community plan, and it's supposed to come to the Board of Supervisors, and so I'll be questioning them regarding that. And whenever Livingston comes up with a new general plan, so of course we don't want to grow, like I said again, that big. So those are all my comments, and if there's any questions by the council or the public, I'll be happy to answer.
Public, any questions for supervisor or council?
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Garcia? This is a question to the supervisor, correct?
What?
This is a question to the supervisor.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I just wanted to know is the freeway expansion, in other words, from Livingston, I guess from Delhi or Livingston. In other words, is it going to come to reality? Because I know you made a lot of effort, you put a lot of time into it, and I just wanted to see, is it really going to happen? I mean, because I know because of the funding. So, and I know that was one of your projects also as well.
Want to answer that? The supervisor, we can answer that for you.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Garcia, thank you very much for that question. So currently, that is going to happen. The money has already been allocated for that project. It's going to be the northbound, third lane all the way until you get to Turlock. So you'll see that 3-lane. And right now, of course, you guys are all invited. There is going to be a groundbreaking ceremony. It's going to take place over there by Motel 6, where that cul-de-sac is. The date is going to be later part of October. So we'll let you know exactly the date. But it is going to happen, yes.
Is there a reason why north?
Yes, there wasn't, we're still working towards getting the funds allocated for the southern part, and that's also coming, but that money is still to be allocated for, but it is in the chipper.
Thank you. My last comment before I leave, I know that for 10 years we've been fighting the little bottleneck that's on Winter Parkway and into the freeway southbound. The little bottleneck, I know that we're doing engineering and we have the funds, but I just want to make sure that if you can update the citizens regarding that too. Thank you.
Yes, Supervisor, thank you. So basically, right now, we've been going back and forth with Caltrans. Caltrans has now provided comments. Engineering is actually working on those comments. So we anticipate starting the project this year, and it will overflow into spring of next year. But it is underway.
I think somebody wants to make a citizen's comment early.
I
But,
thought it was staff, no?
oh, I don't know, I see something there, and,
Um,
Chief, go ahead, please.
Actually, I was going to, I looked up the date for that. It's going to be October 29th at 10 o'clock in the morning for the groundbreaking for the
Do you-
Caltrans.
So
do
there you
want-
go,
okay, so
October 29th.
Do you have a presentation today, Chief?
I do
or-
not have a presentation. I just
So
have
go ahead and,
a big
even though we
invitation.
have the fire department queued up, go ahead if you want to make your comments now.
Well, I figured it'd be a good time to throw out the date and then just kind of roll into this invitation to some great crab. I'm representing the Rotary Club. I know our city manager and our mayor and council, they already bought tickets to this. Yep, bought tickets. This is an event not to be missed. It's the 36th Rotary Crab Feed. All the crab you can eat. It's going to be on November 9th at Pentecost Hall. Starts at 6 p.m. If you're looking for a ticket to this fabulous event, I'll be selling them. But the store here, Brandon Friesen, at the hardware store, will be selling them as well. But it's a great event. A lot of folks attend this, and a lot of folks that are who's who attend it. So I think if you want to be in that crowd, I think it's a good opportunity to go to that crowd. So
Yeah,
anyways.
it's worth going because that's the only place you're gonna catch a chief of police for Livingston doing identity theft.
That's right. And just to follow up, there's an inside joke. I never got an apron, a personal apron. So when I'm helping with the Rotary Club, I have to wear Paul's apron. So I actually, it's actually people. Once they do that, the people stay away from me. So I don't know what that means. So, anyways, that's it. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
You have no report as far as the?
No, I don't. Not this time.
Okay, well, does anybody have any questions for Chief? No, thank you, Chief.
Thanks.
And since we have the fire department already queued up, they're conversing right now, so let's see who's gonna step up to the plate here, so. Hey, Brian, he's not gonna do that old job anymore, come on. You think he's gonna do his old job? Hell, no, no?
Can't just say no comment.
And welcome back. Go ahead.
Good evening, City Council, Mayor, public. This is the report for August for our calls. Is there a clicker up here? Yeah. Let's see if it works today. All right, for the month of August, in the city of Livingston, we had 80 medical aids, 3 vegetation fires, 7 vehicle accidents, 1 structure fire, 1 debris fire, 1 alarm sounding, 4 standbys, and 1 public assist. In the county, we had 22 medical aids, one of which was a code blue. We had 9 vegetation fires, 13 vehicle accidents, 4 vehicle fires, 4 structure fires, 3 debris fires, 2 alarm soundings, and 2 public assists. And for our year summary up to August 31st, we've ran 1,229 calls. Of those, 733 were in the city limits, 496 were in the county, and 72% of the time we have PCF response to the incidents. And 82% of the calls are within our initial area. Our call volume so far this year is up 7% from this time last year. For training, paid staff, we worked on our master streams, and volunteers, we did some host testing on engine 96E1. Some fire prevention. So the county's starting to do a lot more inspections on, obviously, apartments. Basically any building that has 3 or more structures on it. So this month we were able to do 19 apartment inspections, and basically we're looking for life hazards and anything we can do to make the community safer. We participated with the Type 6 out at the Livingston football for our public standby. We also participated in the Foster Farms Health and Safety Fair. September is National Preparedness Month, so we'd recommend that you have a checklist ready to go if there's any emergencies. Have a place for your family to join if something happens. So if you had to get out of the house, like outside by the tree or a hydrant or something outside. And this is the end of our report. Do you have any comments, any questions?
Any questions for fire department?
Yes.
You indicated on the arrest, there was 2 arrests. Are those the people that are starting fires or what? I think there was only 2.
Public assist.
Public?
You mentioned 2.
No, I don't think fire
Public
department
arrest, I
makes
think it was. Was it?
Public assist, not arrest.
Public assist, we don't do any arresting.
Yeah. Someone's nervous. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, one comment. I guess the type 6 is now out on duty now?
So the type 6, Chief Ron and city manager is working on that, Jose. They,
I thought
it
so.
is working in the city right now, so it's responding.
It is responding in the
in the
city.
city right now, yes.
Okay, yeah, because yesterday was out on vegetation, and I was standing by the Gurdwara, and a little kid says, "Look, baby fire truck." So that's how they describe it.
It is signed off to be responding inside the city limits.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, baby fire truck. Okay, Mr. Grant, anything to report? Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report this evening. Jackie?
I just wanted to remind everybody that we are looking for sponsors for the Sweet Potato Festival. So if you know someone who might be interested in helping us out, please have them give us a call. We're also looking for volunteers to help run all of the different activities at the Sweet Potato Festival. So if you guys have a few hours that you can donate at our event that Juan's going to be telling you about when it comes to him, and or just volunteering to work in the kid zone, wherever. We need lots of help. So please, tickets are on sale now at City Hall at a discount. You pay $25 for unlimited rides now, $35 at the event. So you're going to want to come to City Hall and get your wristbands ahead of time. Also, tickets for the beer tasting are $20 ahead of time and $25 at the event. So it really pays to save by buying in advance.
Thank you. Question for the recreation? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Jackie, I just had one question. You mentioned. Okay.
Yay!
In my big mouth. No, I was gonna ask another.
No?
As far as
No.
judging, okay, because like I said, I wanted to, because I look forward to it every year. In other words, and I'm still had not enough of the sweet potatoes. That's why I was asking to be considered.
You're just gonna have to come and buy some sweet potatoes, so we're not doing that.
Oh, okay. We get to throw the cakes at it. Well, I have a suggestion that, you know what, maybe we can have a dunking tank. In other words, get all the city council to take turns. In other words, you can make a lot of money. The supervisor, you'll make big bucks yet. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Okay, who am I missing out there? Okay, I don't see any other staff member. So, Mr. Ramirez, your turn to report.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council, staff has been pretty busy over the last couple of weeks. First of all, you might notice, we've been trying to do the minimal impact to our residents and to our businesses on Main Street. So you'll notice that we made some reconfiguration to have traffic flow, and you'll notice some temporary parking diagonals, so that way those that are going northbound can actually go ahead and park if they're looking at visiting Fiesta Market, Punjabi Sweets, or any of the other businesses in there. And so we're routing folks through the alley. There will be a point in time where we actually have to close down Main Street because they'll be working on the center portion. So we're gonna look at how to, again, figure out a way to minimally impact residents and businesses in regards to that, and try to get that done as soon as possible. In addition to that, those of you who are actually here tonight, you might go and see Joel Aguilar, who's actually working on our very first mural, and it's coming along pretty nice. Our hope is to take that to continue to work on murals all over town and have a part of our mural arts district. We've approached some other businesses. We've approached some banking institutions. So we hope to garner some more funds, and hopefully it'll be contagious. Others will start to commission their own. But our next one is slated for this building next door here, next where the taco truck is, and the taco truck would be reoriented and so forth and so on. And then lastly, we are looking at, if you notice, there's the corner here, there's no sidewalk, there's some drainage issues that we have in the corner, so we're going to look at addressing that. Hopefully, we're looking for some numbers from this contractor to see what they would charge, but that's kind of on our radar, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. Council members, announcements and reports. Councilwoman Baptista?
Not at this time.
Councilmember Aguilar, I know you already pulled the mic, so you definitely got something to report. Go ahead,
Nothing, just a reminder regarding what Jackie was talking about, our first annual craft beer tasting event during the Sweet Potato Festival. I know the Recreation Commission has been working really hard in providing this event to the community. The reason behind it is to provide some funds for our recreation programs out there, the different sports, one of them being baseball and soccer. And then also this event was due to some interest out in the community, so we're trying to, bring some events that are being asked by the community just in general. Just another thing, next week I'll be attending the National Fire Academy, taking a risk reduction class through a scholarship, which Chief Carter, thank you for signing my application. I don't know if you remember, but it was last year, so I appreciate the support. So I'll be there for 7 days on a scholarship, so I'm hoping to bring a lot of good information regarding risk reduction to the city. And that's it.
Okay, Councilmember Kang? Okay, for me, I just, as some of you folks may have noted, well, before I begin, I just want to take a moment to welcome Councilwoman Barbara Rasleff. Welcome. She didn't hear me. She didn't hear me, so I just wanted to welcome you. Yes, I just said I wanted to welcome Councilwoman Rasleff. Okay, and to on my report here, as many of you probably noticed, Sunday there was a little event going on in the park. This is the annual event that the ladies put together. It comes from India, where the harvest season kind of ends, so ladies have more time now. So they get together and have a little event. That was going on in the park Sunday. But what they wanted to do was to, on their behalf, they weren't going to be able to make the meeting, is to thank the police department, the explorers, for going out there, and the city staff, Public Works, for everybody and their assistance in cornering off the park. And they said they couldn't have asked for better support. As always, our staff, our police department, everybody, just when there's an organization out there, they're there with them to make sure their events go really nice. So they wanted to pass that on. And also, they didn't believe me, so for the record, Mr. Ramirez, we had talked about putting fans on that canopy there. Can you bring that status? Because I told them that it's going to happen, but they wouldn't believe me. I know that our group for the music in the park also asked for the fans in that patio area, so can you give a little update on those fans? Because I know Mr. Witten and all them were also saying, hey, we need these fans, so it'd be a nice place to sit if it gets too hot. So now they have publicly put it out there for you.
We're going to charge for the dunking, and we can raise some funds. Yeah, so we're looking at those, we're actually pricing them out and we're trying to figure out, so we'll have an update the next go around, and we'll get some there.
Thank you. And for me, that's all I have. We'll go on to citizens' comments. This section of the agenda allows members of the public to address the city council on any items not otherwise on the agenda. Members of the public who recognize the mayor should come forward to the lectern and identify themselves. Comments are normally limited to 3 minutes in accordance with state opening meeting laws. No action will be taken by the city council this evening. For items which are on the agenda this evening, members of the public will be provided an opportunity to address the city council as each item is up for discussion. Citizen comment, and I see our first citizen.
Catherine Shell Rodriguez, P.O. Box 163. I'm just going to bounce off of the comment by the supervisor about the general plan update. And I just want to let everyone know that I was there during that period of time. I was in this chamber during that period of time taking notes. And I have the minutes of those meetings. I have letters from the county. I have all of that documentation up on a website of mine if anyone is interested in it or that history. I've got all that history going back, and I have copies of those general plans. So if anybody wants to know what happened at that point in time, I've got all of that documentation either up in digital format on the internet or in my own home personal stack of stuff.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. My name is Jose Moran, 945 Parkview Drive. A couple of things real quick before my 3 minutes run out. One thing that I wanted to announce this Friday is the deadline for the Teen Advisory Council. Students that are interested to make sure that they turn it in before Friday at City Hall. And with that, a couple of things. On September 28, and you're all invited, and you can save the date. And for September 28, we have our second Young Men's Conference here in Livingston at the Livingston Middle School. This is normally a conference that we are looking to serve 350 students from throughout Merced County and possibly some surrounding communities. Everything's going to start at 8 o'clock. Kids or students can start registering on September 5th online at the Livingston Young Men's Conference website. And there's going to be about 20 different workshops for students. There's also going to be, among everything else, a robotics and drones showcase. And breakfast and lunch will be provided for all students, attendees, and volunteers and presenters. And actually, Mr. Jose Ramirez, he is going to be one of our keynote speakers this year. But we will follow that with a formal email to council. So just put it on your calendar and be there. Also, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, I know that the council had and city manager had previously talked about a dog park. And it was it's been on the sidelines for different reasons. So once again, this has come up out in the community. It seems when we're walking our dogs around the neighborhood, that always comes up. We wish we had a dog park. We could take our pets and just let them loose and play with other pets. And, instead of having to drive all the way to Turlock or to Merced. Us driving to Turlock or Merced, then we have to obviously buy other stuff, and we want to keep our whatever we need to buy here, even just lunch or
30 seconds.
Yes. So anyways, I wanted to bring it to your attention again, see if we can kind of start looking at it. There continues to be support, and it seems like, and I'm fine with that, but I wish that I invited the community to make sure that they let you know so that everybody knows that I'm not the only one that is always bringing this up, but there is actually a need of a dog park. And with that, I really appreciate it, and I'm always open to continuing this conversation.
Thank you.
Mr., I just wanted to make a few comments from Mr. Moran. So as it relates to the dog park, residents in the council might recall that we had identified a location at Lucero Park, and we were going to move forward with that, but we opened it up and wanted to hear from the community, and so we did. So there was quite a few, there was actually a petition that was signed by the neighborhood there that they felt that the having the dog park there was going to be dangerous on one end, noisy on the other, and there's some other comments. And so I'm glad you brought it up, because that way we can open it up again a little further, and we can look at other places potentially in town. I believe it was Councilmember Garcia who mentioned that he heard from some other residents about why not do it at Max Foster Park. So that's kind of what's out there right now. So would love to continue this conversation and get some more feedback, because you're absolutely right. We do need one in our community, and we would love to put one up.
Thank you. Well, I just was going to address the same issue.
Yeah. Also, yesterday, a citizen approached me and says, "Where's my dog park?" I told them about the same thing with the petition, and I'm glad, Mr. Moran, I think there are others there, and of course supervisors too, that we do want to move forward, and I think we need to move forward. So I'm sorry, Supervisor, I mean to cut you off, but go ahead.
No problem. You know, I think we addressed it the last couple of years, and I think we talked about the Warren Park next to our house now, because I live on that side. I live over there, and I know it's across the street from Jose there, and I don't know if he wants it there, but you know, I've been asked from several community members around there that, you know, that be for the last couple of years, not just now. And I know that I don't know if I addressed it in the past, but I think that would be a good park, because right now there's no homes on the south side of that park, and if you know, it don't have to be that big, but at least if there's already a fence there too on the south side that you guys just installed. So just a plan and design by recreation as well. So my daughter just adopted a dog from the Merced County Animal Shelter at Castle inside. So they have more than 100 dogs that they collect from all the cities around the county. So I went there, and then we were just going, and they have them inside refrigeration and all that. And I mean, yeah, it's AC. I mean, not refrigeration. I'm sorry. Otherwise, they'd be frozen.
Thanks
right?
for clarifying. Okay.
Yeah, but there's a lot of cats as well. If anybody wants to adopt them, so Merced County Animal Shelter in Atwater at Castle. So if anybody wants to adopt it as well, it's about $110 to adopt, and they spay and neuter the animals, and so they give them the first rabies shot. So don't freeze them, right? So I think that's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I believe it was last year that I came and I had asked, you know, you got beautiful parks out here, and I had visited Mexico, and they had, in those parks over there, they had like it's not a weight machine, but there's things that you can do exercise at the park. So their equipment, I mean, they're inexpensive, and you know, I would really like to see that in these parks, because I see a lot of people either jogging or either walking. In other words, can you imagine how much exercise they can get out of these machines? So
Yeah,
maybe in the near future.
Mr. Garcia, no, thank you. As a matter of fact, if you visit our Gallo Park, you'll notice that we have some there. We, through the mayor and some of the other council members, we've actually put walking paths in a lot of our parks, so folks can actually, and we actually have arrows that tell folks kind of which way to go, so that way they don't. And and distances, and we would like to continue putting some other exercise as we get more funding on the other side of town.
That'd be nice, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, there's the blast.
The
from
man of the
past.
hour, there it is.
Man of the hour. So,
Good evening,
and-
Mr.
and
Mayor.
tell us what's your new title.
New title. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, community members. My name is Baraka Carter, I'm the Deputy Chief for CAL FIRE. Previously, the Battalion Chief overseeing Livingston Fire Department. And I just wanted to take this time to thank you for your cooperation and your support. About 4.5 years, I served as the Battalion Chief overseeing the City of Livingston Fire Department, and you embraced us. Not just myself, but the fire department, and the relationship that we formed through that time, is unmatched. So my hope is that, that will continue on. I had an outstanding time working with the department heads, the chief of police, Anthony over Public Works, Brad out of finance, and then of course Jackie.
There you go.
Yeah. So it was a tremendous experience, and we accomplished a lot over that time. There's still a lot to accomplish, but I just wanted to thank you for embracing me and embracing the fire department, and that friendship will always be there. So thank you very much.
Okay, well, thank you, Chief, and I just wanted to, go ahead, you go first. No, you're the honorary fire, Okay, but you're the fire, so go ahead first.
I just want to say that obviously it's been great. It was great working with you. You're a complete professional, and I know you cared about the community. Great friendship. You're always welcome in Livingston. Whatever you need, just let us know.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and Chief, I just want to also say thank you for your service to the community. We couldn't ask for a better professional. You set the high standard for the next chief. We really, really appreciate it. You inspired everybody, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
On my behalf, Chief, I also want to echo the words of the mayor and our council. Personally, you really did bring a lot of structure over in your department, and you were very engaged. You brought a lot of good ideas, and you were very accessible. And I know that, on my behalf, I'm very appreciative of that, and of course, of staff. And the CAL FIRE and the department here is part of the overall team, but with you, it really just gelled. I mean, it was really nice. So thank you, and I wish you much success where you're at. And I think there's a rubber band theory going on here, so we'll see you back.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Hello, my name is Floripes, 929 Orchard Way, Livingston, and I'm here today because, I would like to see a park for our pets here because there's many reasons. For example, like people that they live in apartments, they have dogs and they would like to take for a walk, and they don't know where to go. And also, I think it's a good idea so we can know each other whose dogs, when sometimes they have when it's 4th of July, there is many dogs running in the street, or you guys get the dogs and you don't know who's the owner of the dog, and I don't know what you guys do with the dog, but I think there's a good idea for that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Veronica Guzman. I am new in the city of Livingston, and I was living in the Bay Area, and I realized in America you have dog parks, and that was great for me. And then I moved on here, and I realized we don't have a dog park. And what I start to understand is something about the community, because with respect, all people are afraid about dogs. So when you start to say, hey, we want a dog park, neighbors are going to be against, like they don't want it. But I think that is something about community education. That is the first step before we want to have a dog park, right? The next step, we have the dog park. And then another thing the citizens say, that I realize a lot of dogs are free here, and that's freaked me out, because it's like, why is this happening in United States? In my country, it's normal, because we have a lot of dogs, street dogs, but here is something that people don't know how to have a dog. And if we want a dog park, we need to plan a dog park for big ones and small ones. So I think it's educational thing with kids can be great because kids love dogs. They really love dogs, and they know if you teach them, they are going to listen. The old adults, so, because some adults are afraid, and I understand. So, and maybe when we have the dog park, we can create like a police dog with the neighbors who loves, because I'm animal lover. I'm volunteer. I was volunteer in Redwood City, and there was a shelter who have a lot of chihuahuas from the valley. So it's a problematic from the valley. So that's it. That is my.
Well, thank you and welcome to Livingston.
Thank you so much. Should I sign there or no?
You don't have to if you don't want to. So.
Donna Duffy, 1616 Sapphire. I have three things. First of all, on the dog park, if we have a senior group, if senior housing come in, we need to make it that they have a place to take their dogs, because most seniors have dogs, okay? So that'll, not for the community, but for that community. I'm not a dog owner, but I've seen the success of dog parks in other communities. My bigger comment tonight has to do with understanding council policy and where to find out more about council policy when I'm looking at a warrant register and I see reimbursements for travel outside of, well, let's just say the state of California for council members, which I'm pretty sure council members are going on our behalf. I'm not hearing the reports. Now, I don't come to every single council meeting. I've been trying to, but I'm not hearing reports back on what that expenditure provided. If we took a trip to a governor's meeting or something in Las Vegas, it's important that we are represented and get that information, but I think the citizens need to understand if it cost a couple of $1,000s to send somebody there, what did we get from it? So if somebody could tell me what the policy is, number one, do they have to be pre-approved? In other words, would we hear about it before the person was going? And second of all, before it goes, then we would know that something was coming. And is there a policy that says once I've gone and I'm submitting for reimbursement, the community gets a report back? And so I'm looking for kind of where that's written, or if it's just a gentleman's agreement, or what the standards are on that. And I think that's where I'll stop today.
Thank you for your comment. We will look up the policy for you. Normally, what has been the standard practice is there usually isn't. Usually, we have a budget where it tells how much council will have for travel expenses, and there are certain certain forums, certain places we go to. Like one of the meetings we know we go to is the One Voice in Washington D.C. And there's usually League of California Cities. There's a few others that we do go to. And usually, not usually, but there is always a report out after that has happened. Okay, so the trip to Hawaii? We can look. We will have the exact policy for you at the next meeting. We weren't prepared for this, but I do believe there was a report out. Yeah, but I know there was a report out. However, if you like, we could bring it to the next council meeting, or if you like, swing by City. Swing by City Hall, and we'll be more than happy to print it out for you. Would you prefer to have it printed out? Yeah, there usually is, and not usually, there is a report out. Okay. So, do you wish to have the policy printed out for you? Yes. Would you take care of that, please? Just go see city, and we'll take care of that for you. We whatever you want. Okay, so we'll be more than happy to do that for you. Thank you. Okay. Next, please.
Buenas tardes.
You're acting as the interpreter.
Yes.
So please have her give her name, And Mr. Moran, please identify yourself as a translator, please. Or Jose, do you wish to do the translation? Or do you, well, however, does she wish for you to translate or Jose? Oh, which Jose does she want to translate?
I'll go ahead
Okay,
and translate.
so go ahead and put her name and then put your name as a translator, please.
Si puedes decir tu nombre y su dirección.
Mi nombre es Marta Vera y mi dirección es 913 Narada Way, aquí en Livingston.
Hi, and my name is Jose Moran, and I will be translating for Marta Vera.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
El motivo por el cual estaba en este momento aquí es porque estoy a favor de que para construir un parque para los perros.
And the reason that I'm here is just to show that I'm in favor to build a dog park.
Y pues no tengo palabras y si por favor tomaran en cuenta, estaríamos muy agradecidos. Hemos visto mucha gente que tiene sus perros amarrados y que pues es lamentable, a veces andan en la calle, no tienen cómo andar en un lugar libre y creo que un parque estaría mucho mejor para los animales.
And it's unfortunate how we see a lot of dogs have to be tied up in their homes, and it would be really nice if they had a place for them to run around. And sometimes, although they are running around out in the street, it would be much better if they had a specific location, like a dog park, to be able to run around.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Please say thank you for coming. We are going to be working on the dog park. Obviously, it's a dog park day today. And it looks like it's been like that there must be something going on out there, and which is a good idea, by the way. We're not against it. And just thinking out loud, I don't know, I know we are going to do a dog park somewhere. Maybe it would be good to have the community come in and help us to plan it to see where's the best location. Maybe that might be the better way to see if people want to participate through run it through the recreation department to help to find the location and then to work on getting the dog park in. It's better to have the community input from the get-go. Would you like to translate that?
Y dice que está muy agradecido que se haya tomado el momento de venir a acudir a la reunión y que si están en favor, solamente van a ocupar de buscar la forma de encontrar un lugar a donde colocar el parque, y a lo mejor pueden hacer un comité para que la comunidad pueda venir y ayudar a planear a cómo y en dónde les gustaría tener el parque para los animalitos.
Yo me comprometo.
Okay, I'll make sure that.
Yeah, if we form a committee, we would love for her to participate as well. So.
She said that she would be honored
Perfect.
to be part of it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Batista, you were going to say something? You were going to say something? Okay. I see Chief smiling. Okay, what are you selling now?
Well, anyways, there's been a lot of dialogue on dog parks, and I'm all supportive. The one thing I would really like to encourage people is responsible pet ownership. So I think one of the things that go along with the dog park is making sure that all the dogs have been licensed. And the reason for that is a lot of dogs that are not licensed don't get vaccinated properly. So you have dogs in dog parks that might have kennel cough and rabies, things like that, that will infect other dogs. So along with the dog park, we want to make sure that people are going to be responsible and pet owners and get their dogs licensed and vaccinated. So just want to say that.
Thank you.
And I do want to also congratulate Chief Carter. He's been a great partner to work with.
Yes.
But I do want to say, just because he's leaving doesn't mean he's not going to come and play for the softball game.
Oh, are you worried again?
October 12th. What on your count? You be here? All right.
Yeah. I heard that there was some influence from certain chief to get rid of a ball player, so the fire department would be less willing to beat them out or something. I don't know. Is there some inside trader deal going on there? Get rid of a free agent type thing. I don't know. I mean,
it's all for fun. We're gonna have a great time. So, you know what? I know Jack. You might know better. It's gonna be in the evening, October 12th.
Yeah, let us know. So
Yes.
I want to be there.
Yes, well, we expect
plan
all
to
you. Councilmember Aguilar, I'm sure will be playing the fire, and I think we'll get, Councilmember Gangadip will be with us, the PD, I think. I don't know, I'm not sure about that. The
No,
fire?
we have a picture of him in a fire truck, so he's going with the fire department.
All right, well, anyways.
What do you got
I'm
anything?
gonna go with the PD.
I'm gonna show him the picture of you in a fire truck.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else on the citizen comment? You wanted to make comments, so please come forward. Take your mom up there. She was here for that, right?
It's better because I can translate like this.
Whatever you wish. And so, are you speaking for yourself or for your mom?
For both.
So please put her name as a record, and also.
So you're signing it? Or?
Oh, you don't have to know. You just say
I've never-
verbally say it, and then put
Okay.
down yourself as a translator as well, please.
Okay, so her name is Noemi Salgado, and then my name is Daisy Salgado. And it's the same thing that they've been saying about the dog park. We think it's a good idea just because, like they mentioned before, there's no dog parks. I feel like we have a million regular parks, so why not already convert one of those into a regular dog park and do that? But we just don't understand what is it that we need to do. Do you guys need us to collect signatures, or is there, I understand there's a process like everything else, but where do we begin to actually move forward and get this going?
So what I'm envisioning, we have, council has a liaison to the Parks and Rec, and I think that's the best place to start out with.
Where, I'm sorry?
Parks and Recreation
Oh, okay.
Commission.
And where's,
And
okay.
Mr. Aguilar is our liaison to the Parks and Recreation Commission.
Oh, okay.
So, Mr. Aguilar?
Yeah.
Just a suggestion, maybe put this on talk to whatever your procedure is to get it on the next Parks and Recreation Commission agenda, and contact the folks so they can come in and figure out a way to see what you guys can do.
Yeah, so we could do is we put in the agenda for our next Recreation Commission, I'm looking at Jackie, meeting, and then we'll have the group discuss how we could move forward. So maybe if any, we'll obviously communicate out to the community when the meeting's gonna take place, and just get input in general from the public, and go from there.
Okay, so then you said you're gonna bring it up to the next meeting, and then you.
So
let us
the
know?
when's our next, it's a Parks and Recreation
And is that
Commission
open to
meeting?
the public,
Yeah,
or
it's
is
open
that
to the
just-
public.
when is the next meeting?
Jackie, when's our next? She's checking. So September 26th, we'll put in our Recreation and Commission agenda, and as an item to discuss, and then we'll get everybody's input and go from there. So we'll hear recommendations, what the public suggests, locations, and all of that. Yep.
Would you tell the lady, please?
Nomás para traducirle rapidito a usted, hicieron el comentario que va a haber una reunión la cuarta semana de cada mes se lleva a cabo una comisión donde tratan puros asuntos recreacionales y de arte en el municipio. Entonces el 26 es la siguiente reunión para que usted le comunique a otras gentes que vengan preparados con ideas y también, por ejemplo, si tienen ustedes en mente dónde sería bueno tener el parque, ¿no? Entonces, bienvenida. Vamos a mandar un comunicado.
And then from there, from after the meeting, we could bring it back with recommendations to council or Jose, staff to move forward.
So that'll be the first step. So I encourage everybody that's supportive of the dog park to go to the meeting and get on board, put in your suggestions or ideas, and so we can bring this forward. Because I think everybody in the city, most do want a dog park. We just got to kind of get together as a community, figure out where we're going to put it.
Right. Okay.
And the meetings are held here at the council chambers, and then they're at 7, Jackie, correct? 6 o'clock.
Have you been going at 7?
A las 6. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So we are still in citizen comment. Any other citizen comment? Please come forward. No? I thought you were getting up. Okay. Okay, citizen comment. Anybody else? If not, then the citizen comment portion is now closed. We're going to move on to consent calendar. Items on the consent calendar that are considered routine and non-controversial will be enacted by one vote unless a separate vote or action is requested by the city manager or council member. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the city council, city manager requests that a specific item be removed. Item number 1, this is approval of the warrant register dated August 28, 2019. Number 2, second reading and adoption of the ordinance number 640, amending Livingston Municipal Code Chapter 2-4, Parks, Recreation, Arts Commission, Section 242B, to increase the commission terms from 2 years to 4 years. Number 3, resolution approving the signature authorizing the bank accounts of F&M Bank. Number 4 has been tabled to the next meeting. Council, any discussion on these items? Or if not, then I will entertain a motion at this time.
Make motion to approve the consent
I
agenda.
have a motion by Councilman Regler. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilwoman Baptista. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried 4-0. Number 5, discussion and potential items. This is number 5, resolution establishing terms for the Parks and Recreation and Arts Commission consistent with Livingston Municipal Code. And Ms. Benoit.
Thank you, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be back at the mic. So, as it was requested at the last council meeting, that I would go to our rec commissioners and talk about the terms to them. And so, before you tonight, there is a resolution that sets their terms of expiration. And so, as you can see, and these were agreed on at our meeting, the object of this is to not have everybody leave at the same time. And so there are 3 of them, which this is according to our ordinance. 3 would rotate out first, or they would be able to reapply and be reappointed if it's the desire of the council. And then 4 of them would go out the next year. And the 2 alternates, the attorney's suggestion was that we just put 1 on the first rotation out and 1 on the second. So before you, you can see all of our rec commissioners and their terms of expiration. So my recommendation is that you adopt the resolution.
Okay, thank you. This item is now open to the public. Does anybody from the public wish to comment on this item? If not, then the public. Number 2 was to change the ordinance. And
From
this
2
is-
years to 4 years.
Yeah, for 2. This is we couldn't do this unless we did the first vote first, because it wouldn't it wouldn't be
That's correct.
synchronizing with our codes. Any other comments from public? If not, it is now closed to public. Council comments or any comments or suggestion, thoughts? Mr.
No,
Aguilar?
just in general, I think it's a good idea to change that because, everybody potentially leaving at the same time could, jeopardize the work that we have been doing as a commission. So I think it's a good idea.
This is a great opportunity for Veronica, yourself, and Daisy, and others who might want to participate in, the Parks and Recreation Commission. There's always opportunities that surface, so it might be something you guys might be interested in the future.
Mr. Aguilar, any further comments?
No.
Council, any further discussion? I will entertain a motion at this time.
Make motion to approve the resolution establishing terms for the Parks, Recreation, and Arts Commissioners consistent with the Livingston Municipal Code.
I have a motion by Councilmember Aguilar. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilwoman Baptista. May I have roll call, please?
Roll call, Councilmember Baptista,
Yes.
Councilmember Aguilar,
Yes.
Councilmember King,
Yes.
Mayor Samra.
Yes.
Motion approved by a vote of 4-0.
Okay, council, any further business? If not, we are in adjournment.